Advanced data analytics is becoming a defining structural force in the evolution of nonprofit organizations. Operating within environments marked by financial constraint, heightened expectations of transparency, and increasingly complex social demands, nonprofits are no longer able to treat data as a supplementary tool. Data-driven practice is emerging as a strategic necessity. The integration of predictive analytics, machine learning, large-scale data systems, and real-time decision frameworks is reshaping how organizations design programs, allocate scarce resources, and demonstrate impact. In resource-constrained settings, efficiency is inseparable from legitimacy. The capacity to identify patterns early, adapt interventions dynamically, and optimize limited funding directly influences sustainability. Historically, nonprofits have lagged behind private and governmental sectors in adopting advanced analytics. Structural barriers, including limited funding, insufficient technical expertise, and infrastructural gaps, have constrained implementation. Yet the external environment has shifted, demonstrating measurable impact to donors, beneficiaries, and regulators increasingly requires systematic data collection and rigorous interpretation. Transparency intensifies this requirement. Stakeholders demand verifiable evidence rather than narrative claims. Evidence-based strategy, adaptive evaluation, and real-time monitoring are therefore becoming central to institutional credibility. Predictive analytics represents one of the most transformative dimensions of this shift. By forecasting donor behavior, identifying beneficiaries at risk, or anticipating resource shortages, predictive models enable organizations to act before crises fully materialize. Educational initiatives can detect vulnerable students early and intervene proactively. Fundraising strategies can be refined through behavioral modeling without proportionally increasing costs. Predictive capacity shifts organizations from reactive management toward anticipatory governance. Machine learning extends this transformation. Algorithmic classification of beneficiary profiles, pattern recognition in service delivery, and adaptive optimization of program models allow interventions to scale intelligently. Rather than maintaining static structures, organizations can refine operations continuously. However, these systems introduce ethical risks. Bias embedded in training data, opacity in algorithmic reasoning, and unequal access to computational capacity demand careful governance. Without safeguards, technological sophistication may reproduce structural inequality rather than mitigate it. The integration of large-scale datasets deepens analytical capability. Geospatial information, environmental sensors, mobile health records, and financial data streams provide granular insight into systemic challenges. Conservation organizations can detect illegal deforestation in near real time. Healthcare-focused nonprofits can analyze aggregated patient data to improve targeted interventions and reduce inefficiencies. Yet, such integration requires robust governance protocols to ensure data accuracy, privacy protection, and ethical compliance. Data visualization and dashboard technologies translate analytical complexity into actionable knowledge. Interactive monitoring platforms allow leadership to track program indicators dynamically, rather than relying solely on retrospective reporting. In emergency response and healthcare contexts, real-time analytics can inform immediate operational decisions. This represents a cultural shift from delayed evaluation toward proactive intervention. Despite these opportunities, advanced analytics introduces structural tensions. Enhanced efficiency and transparency coexist with heightened risks related to privacy, data security, and algorithmic bias. In low-income contexts, disparities in digital infrastructure may widen the gap between well-resourced organizations and smaller actors. Technological adoption must therefore be accompanied by inclusive governance, sustained investment in capacity building, and leadership commitment to data literacy. Advanced analytics should not be understood merely as a technical toolkit. Its effective implementation requires organizational transformation. Evidence-driven decision-making must become embedded within institutional culture. Cross-functional collaboration, ethical oversight, and strategic alignment are indispensable. When integrated responsibly, analytics strengthens both accountability and innovation. It enables organizations not only to measure impact, but to improve it continuously. The broader implication is that advanced data analytics represents a frontier in the relationship between technology and social impact. For scholars, this intersection offers significant potential for research into governance, ethics, and institutional adaptation. For practitioners, it presents a concrete pathway toward scalable and sustainable intervention models capable of addressing increasingly complex global challenges. Ultimately, advanced data analytics functions as a strategic enabler. When governed ethically and implemented inclusively, it enhances program delivery, optimizes resource allocation, reinforces transparency, and strengthens stakeholder trust. In this sense, analytics is not simply a technological upgrade. It signals a structural evolution in how nonprofit organizations pursue legitimacy, efficiency, and long-term social impact.